Hi guys, welcome back. Last video we discussed about the glossary of terms and annexes of CMO 2022 series of 2010, and today we discuss about the administrative provision of the CMO 22 series 2010. So, the CMO 2022-2010 or the Custom Memorandum Order 2022 Series 2010, the Administrative Provisions. Section 1, Base Service Section or Equivalent Office. The Base Service Section is in charge of boarding for alighties and the entrance and clearance of foreign vessels. It supervises and implements security measures in the discharging or loading of import or export shipments, as well as the incoming or outgoing crew, passengers, and visitors on board such as vessels. So, the business shall be headed by a chief who shall have direct supervision and control over all personnel therein. Section number 2, uniforms and insignia, peers and inspection division. The chief B service section, customs senior boarding officers, customs inspectors, customs guards, and wharfingers shall always wear the appropriate and prescribed uniform, insignia, nameplate, custom badge, black shoes, and regulation cap. Section number 3, duties and responsibilities of Customs Operation Officer 3, Customs Senior Boarding Officers. So A, Customs Senior Boarding Officer shall have the following duties and responsibilities, like first, boarding incoming foreign vessels outside the breakwater or harbor unless prevented by stress of weather. When boarding a vessel, the customs senior boarding officer shall be assisted by the customs inspector assigned on a vessel. 2. Obtain the master of a vessel the necessary information as required in BOC OPM number 15, records of the vessel or record of vessel boarded. Number 3, sell sea stores in the presence of ship's officer and the customs inspector assigned on board. Under penalty of law, the customs seal so affects shall not be broken while the vessel is within the jurisdictional limits of the Philippines, except when the vessel is in port and only upon written application to withdraw supplies signed by the master and approved by the collector of custom or his duty authorized representation. 4. See to it that all customs inspector and custom guard on duty are in the under proper prescribed uniform, unless the customs inspector are properly uniformed. The customs senior boarding officer shall not allow their embarking on the launch and shall report them as absent. Number 5, see to it that a custom inspector or custom guard assigned to a vessel is provided with the necessary stationery and supplies. B. Report of Customs Senior Boarding Officers. We are two reports. First, upon his return from an official trip in Bay, the Customs Senior Boarding Officer shall transmit to the chief B. Service section. All reports, entities, and other documents delivered to him by the master, agent, or the custom inspector assigned on board vessel. Number 2, he shall prepare and submit his trip report on BOC OPM form from number 615, the records of vessel boarded, to the chief base service section, and make reports of any division from the assigned order issued to the custom inspector and custom guards. Section number 4. Duties and responsibilities of custom operations officer number 1. Customs inspectors. A. Custom inspector shall have the following duties and responsibilities. First, supervise the discharge and loading of cargo and to supervise continuous surveillance to protect the interests of the customs service pursuant to Section 2202 of the Tariff and Custom Code of the Philippines as amended. 2. Be responsible for the proper disposal of all cargo and stores on board vessel under their charge. 3. Represent the customs service in his official relations with the passengers, ship officers, owners, agents, and consignee, and should see to it that the dignity of the service is not impaired. 4. Stay in the vessel to which he has been assigned until he is received with a proper authority, except as hereinafter provided, or it to be necessary in the interest of the service that immediate action be taken. 5. Honor any order, request, or permit of any description only from the following names officers. A. Commissioner of Customs or Deputy Commissioner of Customs. B. Collector of Customs or Deputy Collector of Operations. C. Chief or Assistant Chief, Peers and Inspector Division. D. Chief B. Service Section. E. Customs Senior Boarding Officers. That's the following names of official. So we'll go to number 6. Endeavor to work in harmony at all times with custom employees of their division and with the immigration officers on board with respect to the enforcement of immigration laws, rendering assistance to those officials in the performance of their duties. 7. Cooperate with quarantine authorities in the enforcement of port quarantine regulations promulgated by the Bureau of Quarantine, and shall give effect to the name insofar as they are connected with matters of shipping and navigation pursuant to Section 605 of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended. 8. Familiarize themselves with provisions of the Tariff and Custom Codes of the Philippines as amended. Custom administrative officers, orders, custom memorandum orders, and circular issued by the Bureau of Customs pertinent to their duties. Last, number 9. Refer the matter to the custom senior boarding officer or chief base service section in case he is in doubt and to the proper action to be taken. And D. Specific duties upon assuming charge officers. First, it shall be the first duty of a custom inspector upon assuming charge of vessel, especially a passenger vessel, to immediately assign a custom or a guard at each accommodation ladder or gangway with the instruction not allow person to board the vessel without a written pass, excepting the stevedores to attend to the discharging or loading of the cargoes. Second, the custom inspector shall instruct custom guards assigned on the gangway to conduct body searches, if necessary, on all persons boarding or disembarking from the vessel. Third, while the vessel is docked at the pier of wharf, the customs inspector shall make periodic inspection to ascertain that all ropes and cables from vessel to dock are provided with the rat guards and that adequate safeguards are employed, such as the covering of the holes through which ropes and cable pass. Fourth, if the vessel docks at night, the customs inspector shall require proper lighting at the gangway. C. The relationship of customs inspector with custom guards under his supervision. First, the customs inspector shall see to it that the customs guard assigned on a vessel are in complete uniform and present a neat and clean appearance. Their official badge must be displayed consciously. Second, he shall report to the customs senior boarding officer on duty the unexplained absence of any custom guard assigned to him. Third, an efficiency report for custom guards shall be submitted by the customs inspector for each vessel of which he is in charge. Fourth, he shall maintain a logbook to keep a record of events during his tour of duty, to include custom guards sent ashore or to another vessel on official business, specifying the following: A. Time of departure. B. Nature of business. C. Destination. D. Where and when he is to report upon completion of his business. And last, E. Time return. 5. It is essential that an accurate check be secured on all cargoes discharged from and loaded on a vessel. Custom inspectors shall instruct their customs guard to check independently of other checkers and to submit their custom guard's report. Last, 6. He shall submit the discharging sequence and or inward foreign manifest duty received in the logbook with a custom bonfire. D. The report after termination of duty. A custom inspector returning to shore after the vessel of which he was in charge has sailed or returning to station from an output assigned shall immediately report to Chief Base Service Section and submit all reports relative to his assigned to the latter, who shall properly endorse them to the Chief Piers and Inspection Division. There are 7 of documents that the reports of customs inspector shall include: first, duty accomplished inspector certificate of lading is in case of break bulk and conventional cargoes. Second, the safe side permits of any properly endorsed at the back thereof with accompanying transfer notes and custom guards check report. Third, accomplished certificate of inspections or the CI certificate of identification unloading or the CIL if any. Fourth, certificate of date of last cargo discharge accomplished by customs inspector on board and bearing the seal of the master of the vessel to be submitted to the office of the Chief Piers and Inspection Division. Fifth, clearance of a vessel indicating therein the time and the date vessel actually sails and the berth assignment and the period of time the vessel stays at such berths and or anchored for transmittal to the customs clearance. 6. General permit issued by the customs senior boarding officer properly endorsed at the back thereof, and last, all shipping documents required from the master upon boarding a vessel, permits properly endorsed, and reports of all violations of customs rules and regulations that may come into his attention. Section number 5, Port Utilization Section. The Port Utilization Section supervises the receiving, handling, custody, monitoring, movement, and release of shipments at the pier or the customs zone. The port utilization shall headed by a chief who shall perform following functions. First, supervise all one-fingers, assistants one-fingers, custom guards assigned at container yards outside CYCFS and customs gatekeepers. Second, act on all within reports submitted by the personnel under his supervision. Third, be responsible for the product or the conduct, vigilance, efficiently, neat and clean appearance of personnel under him. Fourth, required all waffingers, assistant waffingers, custom guards, and custom gatekeepers to be in complete uniform when on duty. Fifth, assign his personnel properly, apportioning their overtime as equitable and as fairly as possible. 6. Excuse direct supervision over custom gatekeepers. 7. Inspect piers, wharves, warehouse, container freight, and a container terminal inside the custom zone as frequently as possible, submitting to the Chief Piers and Inspection Division such reports as may be necessary. 8. See to it that cargoes are transferred properly and promptly to border carriers. Bordered warehouse and private warehouse cover the proper transfer rides. 9. Recommended to the Chief Piers and Inspection Division for the interest of the service and with consultation with the wharfingers in charge of the piers and his reshuffling of personnel under him to the different piers. 10th, supervise the wharfingers in the preparation. Number 10, supervise the wharfingers in the preparation, rating, and submission to the chief of division the performance rating of all personnel under them. He shall rate all wharfingers in charge of the piers. 11. Recommend any personnel who are deserving, capable, and willing, pursuant to civil servant rules and regulations, for any promotion that are subjected to be filled up. 12. Implement of lawful orders given to him from the time to time by proper customs authorities with regard to his section. Section number 6. Duties and responsibilities of Assistant Customs Operation Officer, wharfingers. A. At the pier or CY CFS, there shall be on wharfingers in charge of each pier who shall be responsible for the efficiency and discipline of customs personnel under him. Second, he shall exercise effective supervision over the RS3 constructors' service regarding receiving, handling, custody, and delivery of cargoes. Third, he shall note carefully the condition of the fender piles and draft at the piers and submit reports thereon. Fourth, he shall cooperate and assist other officers of the government performing official function at the piers. Fifth, he shall supervise the cleaning of the piers and see to it that garbage and obnoxious cargoes are disposed of promptly and properly. B. Outside CFY CFS of dock. First, there shall be one wharfinger in charge of outside CY CFS who shall be responsible for the efficiency and discipline of custom personnel under him. Second, he shall receive the transfer note, inbound container, and inward foreign manifest from customs guard. Third, he shall supervise the stripping of the containers. Fourth, he shall receive the stripping toilet sheet from the CYFS warehouseman. Fifth, he shall process delivery permits and other types of customs permits, vis-to-vis official receipt and statement of settlement of duties and taxes issued by the formal and informal. Fifth, he shall process delivery permits and other types of customs permits, vis-a-vis to official receipt or statement of settlement of duties and taxes issued by the formal or informal entity division prior to the release of cargo. 6. He shall see to it that the cargoes are released and delivered only to the proper parties in accordance with the marks, countermarks, and register Ustream number of carrying vessel. 7. He shall assign a custom guard, prepare and sign transfer note, as well as supervise the transfer of cargoes to the local ports, economic zones, and bonded warehouse either inside or outside custom zone, including coast, west, transit cargoes, and other places designated by customs. 8. In all cases of transfers of packed containers covered by warehousing permits or other permits where duties and taxes have not been paid, the container shall be sold with customs sale by the wharfinger concerned in the presence of custom examine concern. 9. He shall maintain a logbook to record events such as examination made, hold or alert order, notice of warrant of seizure, and detention, and samples taken. 10. He shall report to the collector of customs with 24 hours from the time the article is deemed abandoned and submit a monthly report on abandoned or understaying cargoes to the office, the chief, Repairs and Inspection Division. Next is section number 7, duties and responsibilities. Section number 7, duties and responsibilities of Assistant Customs Operation Officer, designated assistant wharfingers. Each cargo skid or warehouse shall be under the direct charge and the supervision of assistant wharfinger, who shall maintain his office inside the shed or the warehouse. He shall prepare, rate, and submit ratings of his pier, shed, or warehouse custom guards to the wharfingers in charge of the pier. Third, he shall supervise the opening and closing of the cargo, shed, or warehouse. Fourth, he shall not allow unauthorized person inside the cargo, shed, or warehouse without preparation. Fifth, he shall process all delivery permits pertaining to his shed or warehouse before authorizing delivery of cargo therefrom. 6. He shall supervise closely the activities of the custom guards assigned his or shed or warehouse. 7. He shall clear the pier boat of lighters and other obstructions during the ting and or deploy of vessel. 8. He shall assess the wharfingers in charge of the pier and to execute all his orders. 9. He shall prepare and assign transfer note as well as supervise the transfer of cargoes to the local ports, economic zones, and bonded warehouse either inside or outside custom zone, including coastwise transit cargoes and other places designated by customs. 10th, he shall see to it that no inflammable, dangerous, or obnoxious cargoes and slowed inside the shed or warehouse. 11. He shall coordinate with the arrestry, shed, or warehouse security personnel and enforcement and security service in the prevention of pilferage or cargoes and other anomalies to defraud the customs revenues. Last 12, he shall perform all functions that may be assigned him from time to time by superior authorities. Next is section number 8, duties and responsibilities of Assistant Custom Operations Officer, Custom Guards. A. At the pier or the CYFS, a custom guard shall see to it that no inflammable, dangerous, and dangerous cargoes are discharged without proper permit. Second, when assigned delivery work, he shall scrutinize the delivery permit properly processed and signed by the processing wharfinger. Third, he shall check carefully the load on the truck against the gate pass issued in accordance with the mark, countermarks, registry number, and total number of packages. Fourth, he shall see to it that all deliveries made are duly recorded on custom guards' delivery shells. Fifth, he shall see to it that the wharfinger's copy of delivery permit is retained and the same to be forwarded to the wharfingers concerned upon completion of the delivery. When assistant as conduction guard, he shall see to it that the cargo destined for transfer reaches its destination safety and the covering transfer note properly signed by the warehouseman or storekeeper or wharfinger or custom guard concerned at the case may be. B. On the board vessel, a custom guard shall see that no person is allowed to board the vessel without a written pass, excepting the stevedores to attend to the discharging or loading of cargoes at each accommodation ladder over gangway. Second, we shall conduct body searches if necessary on all persons coming in and out of the vessels. Third, he shall perform customs surveillance on board the vessel or on carriers containing cargo in transit that has not been released from customs supervision. Fourth, he shall check cargoes being discharged from or loaded on a vessel. Fifth, he shall act as carriers on official business. Sixth, he shall see to it that no empty lighters may alongside the pier without proper permit. And C, outside CB or CFS. First, a custom guard shall assist the shed or warehouse wharfinger in supervising the receiving, handling, custody, delivery, and stowage of cargo inside a shed or warehouse by the RS3 operations. To inside witnessing the stripping or deveining and sign the cargo stripping report. Second, he shall assist the shed or warehouse wharfinger in attending the inventory of bad order cargo and sign the bad order inspection certificate issued by the RS3 operator. And last, others. A custom guard shall perform any other work or function that may be assigned to him from time to time by his supervisors. Next, section number 9, duties and responsibilities of Assistant Customs Operation Officer, designated custom gatekeepers. A custom gatekeeper shall report punctually at the terminal gate assigned to him and shall remain treated until properly relieved or otherwise directed to perform other duties by his superior. He shall not allow merchandise to pass through the gate without a gate pass. He shall verify the genuineness of the said pass as well as the signature's appearance thereon. He must verify and see to it that all gate pass are courtesaned by the wharfinger of the corresponding pier where applicable. He shall see to it that a gate pass with alterations and or notations shall not be honored without the signature of the pier superintendent and the wharfinger. He shall collect all gate pass which shall be submitted to the office of wharfinger for proportional purpose at the end of each working day. Custom gatekeeper in charge shall supervise his men properly at the custom zones and pier gate, assisting them on whatever problems that may arrays and not resolved, the same should be referred to the wharfingers in charge of the pier where the cargo came from. Gatekeeper assigned at the exit gates shall be required to open all empty containers to verify whether they are indeed empty, and shall keep records of the approved requests or permits issued and report any discrepancy to the office of the wharfingers in charge. And section number 10, reporting time of customs personnel. The reporting time for customs senior boarding officer, custom inspector, and custom guard are follows. First, customs senior boarding officers, customs inspector, and custom guards not assigned to vessel shall report at and stay in the office of the chief piers and inspection division and observe regular working hours. They shall perform such duty as may be assigned to them by the chief of assistant of chief of the division and the chief bay service section. Second, they assigned to vessel arriving before 8 a.m. and after 5 p.m. shall report for duty at least 2 hours before the vessel's estimated time of arrival. Next, section number 11, meals and accommodation of designated. First, A, on board vessel, the customs senior boarding officer shall, when necessary, invite the attention of the master of the vessel to customs regulation which required the serving of meals and providing of suitable accommodation to customs inspector and custom guards assigned on board. B, to outports travel expenses. Custom inspector and custom guards traveling at the request and expense of shipping lines or other entities that shall be allowed suitable accommodation and actual and necessary expenses for board and lodging subject to existing rules and regulations. Next, section 12, leave of absence. Application for vacation leave shall be filed and approved before such leave of absence is enjoyed by any officer or employee, unless prevented by unforeseen circumstances beyond his control. Any officer or employee detained by causes beyond his control and unable to report for duty at the prescribed hour of reporting must be notified the office in he or is employed to that effect with 2 hours if capable of such prescribed hour on the first day of absence